Welcome back to Like I Said, everyone. As always, my name is Caleb Quire. I'm the host of the show. Now, today's episode is going to be a little bit different than usual because instead of sitting down and talking to a guest, I've compiled some of my favorite moments over the last few months of bringing back the show. I think I have like 15 or 14 little bits and pieces that I've compiled through all the episodes. This is just little snippets of all the wonderful guests I've had and some of the fun conversations, like I said, over the past few months. So please enjoy, and thank you for listening and watching. I appreciate you.
That's not appealing to me. But yeah, so I don't have anything that I can turn to be like, okay, I can at least get some relief with this.
Mm-hmm.
I just struggle and plow through. And I'm always on, and
I'm always looking for how can we this?
I mean, I get so much done, but I also don't want to have to get so much done, right? Like, I just want to have some times where it's just, I can stare off into space, and I just don't have to focus on anything. I can just enjoy the moment, even if I'm doing absolutely nothing at all, but there's always something right now, so.
Mm-hmm. I literally thought about that the other day. That all kind of came out as one word. I literally thought about that the other day. Wow.
I got you. Right? I got you.
It's just the fact that, like, when I think about nostalgic points of life or like childhood, like, oh man, like the summer and the weekends were so much better when you were a kid. And I'm like, well, that's because you could literally
be a kid and do
stare
nothing.
at a tree for 4 hours and you were good. You didn't feel like you wasted your day. Or you had other things that you should have done.
Yes.
It's like, that tree was it.
It was perfect.
It was amazing. I used to draw and climb trees. And like, what are you doing? Literally nothing. That is it.
That's what you're supposed to be doing.
A tree.
Yep.
I was like, we haven't had, and I don't even know how many kids experience that kind of singularity.
Just that freeing ability. Well, especially now because, like social media and the internet and, all that stuff we didn't have when we were kids.
No.
And so I think that there's been a lot that has been lost in that realm because now all they know is to always be on, to always be connected, to always be glued in and plugged in on something. And just to have that moment, like you never really see kids outside. And I think that's a shame because, then they lose out on the critical thinking and, creative abilities and things like that. But just to just be with themselves, that's also a thing I think a lot of people suffer from is being able to just be with yourself and in your thoughts, and not a lot of people can do that.
Especially if your thoughts don't shut
I can. They don't stop running because, like I said, I got all the tabs open and
right.
A lot of them are frozen, but they're all open. But I can do that. I can be with myself and just. But it's loud. It's loud up here.
Yeah.
Always on.
I mean, I feel like that makes you a good captain of the Introverts Club,
I don't want to be the captain. Did I sign up for this? Was I nominated because...
I don't think we've ever mentioned a captain.
Did we have do we meet on this? Because I want to, question this.
Rescind your captaincy.
None
of us are going to take it.
I did not volunteer as tribute. I know.
We don't want it.
I thought the understanding was we just came to the table with ourselves. I didn't know there was a leader in all of this. And I'm not the one because I don't leave the house. So that we don't need that.
Hey, I don't leave the house much either.
I mean, it's bad because even my daughter is like, I'm worried. And I'm like, for what? I have so many things to do. And then, getting dressed and leaving the house takes effort some days. And I'm not here for it. Sometimes I'm not here for the day, but I'm here and I show up. I might look like the crypt keeper on my couch working on the divot. That's what I was saying before we started all this is that there is one cushion that is considerably worn.
Oh my God.
Just in the little over a year and a half that I started school, because like I said, I work in my office and then I try to not be at my office and just be in front of the TV, even though I'm not paying attention. It's just background noise. And I sit on the same seat cushion and
is it still comfortable?
No, and I've actually Googled where I can get a cushion refill. That's one of the tabs. It's like the thing to do. And I'm like, so how soon can I order this thing and put it in my couch before I start like putting a divot in it again? And I just
That's so funny.
This is my real life, guys. Real life.
But I think my recordings are just going to be really few and far between. So
I feel you.
yeah. But anyway, Community Music Collective. Yeah. If anyone whoever's watching this, hey guys, how you doing? Yeah. You should check out Community Music Collective. Support us. Come be a part of it. Be part of the community. There's so much love in this world.
Yeah.
And I think we need to share that and connect more now than ever. And let me ask you a question. You're the one doing the interview, but I'd like to get your thoughts on this.
It's not really an interview, but
so, or whatever.
Is,
yeah, I mean, it kind of is. It's a conversation. But so, all right. I'm making an effort not to be political here because I don't need to be. But the social media and when it comes to art, there's very little you can do to promote yourself outside of social media, other than the old-fashioned way. Like, and that's kind of where I'm going with this is like, social media, we know that the majority of it and the ones that are effective are owned by like some pretty powerful manipulative people that are taking our information and basically building maps of our brain so they can sell us stuff. I mean, that's essentially what it's all about. Yeah. And so like I was just on it before I got here. Like, if I'm honest, like I'm probably addicted, like most of us are at this point. Yeah. But like, do you think as an artist that there's a way to break that cycle and of promotion through social media and make it be as successful as you'd like to be, or be able to essentially, like, when you, like, for you a lot of what you do you're getting paid for, so that goes to supporting yourself. Do you think that it's possible to do it without social media?
In the world of social media, in a smaller town, I would say, like, your success hinges upon your level of living, I suppose. Like, if you can live small on a small plot of land, let's say, like, you have a small gallery or something, or you work with a town exclusively, like you're the main artist or something like that, and you're kind of well known in a really small environment, I would say you could pull that off.
Yeah.
But you're going to be swept away in the world outside of that area because of social media.
Right.
And the problem isn't, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's not like social media makes you successful.
Right.
You have to be good and understand what you're doing.
And consistent.
Yeah.
And there's so much that goes into it. It's not just...
Yeah.
It's not like you just plug in and it's...
There's a good chance that the person who doesn't go on social media will have more personalized and better work. Because I think the influence on social media kind of like deadens our individuality a bit. Like, when I'm scrolling and I'm in like a doom scroll, I don't get inspired when I see really creative work or beautiful paintings or something. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make me put down my phone and say, I want to go create something magical or beautiful. Instead, it's like, oh, cool. And I just kind of give me something else.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, if you're off of it and your brain kind of has a healthier dopamine level of what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think you tap in more into your own personal enjoyment, what inspires you in the real world. So I think your work would be better, but it wouldn't really be seen by anyone.
Yeah.
So it's catch-22, I guess.
Yeah, and so I'm trying to wrap my head around it because there's a part of me that doesn't want to support a, a system that's essentially used for mind control is like the end. And I probably sounded like a.
There is a tin hat over there. If you
Yeah,
want
oh yeah, I might need to get the tin hat. But I don't want to support. I don't. There's a big part of me that doesn't want to support that system and feed into like the oligarchy, essentially, like these billionaires who are making millions of dollars a minute and have employees that can't buy groceries for their family.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a part of me that doesn't want to feed that system, but at the same time, the system is there, and it's what is what is probably most effective for getting what you like, what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a nonprofit that's important to me and that I want people to know about. Well, how do I get people to know about it? Like, do I spend every day just walking down the street talking to people? I mean,
It would work.
it would work.
Like word of
And
mouth.
probably the
Yeah.
connection would be stronger if you're meeting people face to face.
It'd be hard.
But
Hard to take the rejection in your face would be difficult.
but I do have to work too and support my
Oh,
family,
yeah,
and
of course.
so I don't know. I think that a lot of artists are kind of looking at that right now, trying to figure out
Oh,
how
yeah.
to
I fully get that.
how to kind of navigate things in a way that feels socially and ethically responsible, but at the same time helps them do what they need to do and what they want to do.
I know.
So
And it's like having to play the game because that's the game that we've all agreed to play.
right.
Or maybe didn't like agree to play, just kind of like got sucked into play.
Right, and didn't realize what the game was really.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
I mean, I feel like half of us talk about how much we don't enjoy being sucked into social media so much. It's
Right.
a very popular topic.
Yeah, yeah.
And everyone's like, I gotta get off of it. But, it's still pumping away.
Right, yeah.
And, like, then there's people like me. I'm like, well, I kind of use it a lot for
Yeah.
work. So I'm like, I don't really want it to leave. But at the same time, if you gave me the opportunity to have my livable wages that I have now without social media,
Right.
I'd be all over it. Because it does help. Your brain is a bit healthier and you don't feel trapped and you can focus more on what you're creatively there to
Yeah.
do. So, but dude, I don't have a good answer. I don't know if you can get around it right now.
Yeah.
Unless you just created a whole different, like I said, local engine or some way that people can gain like attractions to your artwork, whether it's music or painting,
Yeah.
or whatever it is you're passionate about doing. Very, very, very difficult.
Yeah. Well, it's a question. we
will
don't know the
continue
answer
to
to.
ponder.
Yeah. Let's keep thinking about it.
Yeah. And I catch myself forgetting to pay attention to the content in the terms of like looking how videos are modeled, ways to like talk, and I just kind of get sucked into like, oh, that's funny. Then
Yeah.
I've got to bring myself out of it and kind of like start analyzing the videos.
Yeah.
Is that difficult for you? Like, do you get sucked into just like silly stuff more, or are you able to like pay attention to the business side to improve? Because you guys have, I mean, the graph for your viewership and is rapidly increased.
Our view, that's a good point about like you low key have to be on your phone, bro, because you have to figure out what's going on, or a lot of people talk about trends.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, like trends on social media or whatever, which trends are a thing, bro. But like, it doesn't have to be like your main source of like what you put out, or like trying to figure out what the next trends are. But what your question was, like, do I find it easy to watch my content? Like, it kind of just depends. Like at nighttime, if I'm scrolling and watching, just like doom scrolling at nighttime, I'm just consuming content. I'm not like observing what the fuck is going on. But like the only thing I'll do at nighttime is like if I hear a sound bite that I like or something like that, I'm like, I could use that later. I'll just save it on TikTok or whatever. But during the day and stuff, like if I'm just on my phone scrolling and shit like that, then yeah, I'll be like, well, how did, like, this video did this good, let's say they had like 400,000 likes or whatever on TikTok, and it's like, so they probably got like 22 million views or something like that. Like I'm thinking about like what is the content, how do they shoot it, or like what is the sucker inner thing, like what drew people the sucker inner thing, what sucked you in, what sucked other people in, and like why are you watching, what made it such a success. So then I'll just kind of do like a quick analysis of the whole thing. Like sometimes it's like a lot of people like the raw footage of like just real people, like some random person posts a video and it goes viral. Like they had no intention of it going viral and it just takes off and it turns into its own thing. And then there's the other ones of like influencers do it, or just like people that are trying to grow their pages or whatever. They'll like craft, like it'll look authentic but it's actually fake, you know what I'm saying?
That's more difficult.
Which is hard. And if it's hard to tell, then that means they did a really good job.
Yeah.
Like you have to be intentional about it. But so I'll look at like where they put their captions at, what font are they using, sound bites, length, duration, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's like probably 60-40, like 60 me just enjoying it and 40% me like observing, studying, like how did this get made at yada yada. But yeah, dude, my screen time is like not good because I'm always on my phone.
Same.
But I'd probably get more work done if I've recently been having to put my phone like away from me because I just, dude, I don't know if it's just me. I've heard other people say it before, if like they're editing or something like that, and it's like if you have to wait for anything to like load or whatever,
right here,
just those 30 seconds, you pick up your phone and you start scrolling. Like I go straight to TikTok or Instagram, and then you'll spend 10 minutes on your phone, and it's like, what the fuck am I doing? You have to snap yourself out of it. That's bad, bro. That's a bad habit because that'll turn into, you accumulate time. Like you probably waste like an hour or two of your day just doing that.
Easy.
It's a bad habit.
And I honestly, like, I'll forget what I'm doing, and then I lose interest because I'll see something on TikTok. I'm like, oh, that'd be fun. So then I start thinking about another video before I've even finished the one I'm working on.
Oh, I see.
That was probably the best reason to break ever.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And it's on the topic of food.
It is. So I don't know where I left off. I do remember what I was saying, but like the whole
mixing flavors and whatnot, knowing how to do
yeah,
that.
like I'm not like the Top Chef guys. They got to think on the fly like that, right? And there are times where I look at something and I'm like, man, I like this flavor and I like that flavor. I think it would balance well together. And then I'm going to pair it with this wine and I think it's going to bring it all home, And I do think that to a degree I'm gifted with having that ability to blend some stuff. And I like just trying new things. So for me, it's the art, right? I wish I was better like plating some things because I think the plate matters. Like they always say, people shop with their feet and they eat with their eyes, man. Like if it's appealing, they're going to eat it. And so in the joke of talking about the taco trucks, sometimes that stuff doesn't come out the best looking, but the way those folks get those flavors in there, man, is incredible, right? And then, we were talking about this the other day because my wife hates it, like when I eat onions, just they linger, and I was telling a buddy about this, and I was like, man, I don't like onions on their own, raw onions, but put them on a taco that's properly flavored with cilantro and all that all day long. It's the right flavor profile for what I'm eating. So you really got to know how to work with what you got, and yeah, it's crazy. So I think for you, if you had it in your head that cooking can be like art, then you might find a pathway to doing it a little bit more. And I'm not saying getting super fancy or anything by any means.
No.
But just
I see
thinking
where
of
you're going with it, yeah.
But like, man, I love eggs. I love this. Like, how can I?
I get to the point where it's acceptable.
Yeah.
And I think maybe if I had like a reason to cook, like a date or something.
Yeah.
Which it's been centuries at this point. So this is just me for
Yeah,
myself, and
yeah.
I'm like, I don't care at this point. So I go with the bare minimum.
Oh.
It's like tossing chicken tendies in an air fryer.
Dude, I'm 100% with you.
But I do see where you're going. Another thing is I can't smell very great. And I think that definitely affects the way I taste things.
It will.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And so, like, I don't even feel like I would appreciate something appropriately. And I can't taste it. I'm an oversalter. I'm guilty as charged.
Yeah.
And the last person I was dating, abuse salt like
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
And then I had to wean myself off of like over salting things. I got so used to tasting just the salt in it. And
Do you
talking.
do you use table salt, like the small grains?
No, I use it's like a more coarser like kind of
Kosher salt?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you got to use.
But she was addicted to the Lowry's seasoned salt.
Oh,
I know.
my wife is. I hate it. I hate
Bro,
it.
it's on everything.
Yeah. I hate it.
Everything we made
Yeah.
had seasoned salt on it.
It's not even a cheat code, man. Like, it just sucks.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And nowadays, like I have some downstairs, and it's like lower sodium. I'm like, why am I getting lower sodium?
Yeah.
Now it's just like weird spices that don't pair well. Like I made the mistake of putting on my eggs the other day, and I was like,
Oh, no.
what have I done? No, it does go really well with sweet potato.
Oh, okay.
No, you probably won't.
I'm going to take your word on it. But
Don't take my word on it. I can't taste
But
things.
listen, just
Yeah.
to give you some credibility, when I'm alone, yeah, dude, it's air frying chicken nuggets with like mayonnaise and gochujang and just like French fries in a bowl and like toss it, whatever. Like, it's absolute lazy, just comfort food. It's only when we have guests or whatever, and even my wife, she hates it too.
Yeah, I think you could still do a mature story if you even want to go the Jedi route. You could do a mature, good Jedi. You know, trying to do some kind of adventure or overcome some obstacle with a very good villain, with a very good cast of set of circumstances, and he comes out the victor at the end or whatever you want the ending to be. I think they could nail that 100%. It's just you have to have very good writing. You have to have a director who knows what the fuck they're doing, because the thing about Andor is that it was very cinematic. The camera angles, the way they set up everything is executed to a very high level.
Good point.
And that's something that the shows don't really accomplish very well. And I'm looking at you, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Leia chase scene, and I'm looking at you, Book of Boba Fett, scooter chase scene.
Power Rangers.
Yeah. Like the stuff is just not thought out 100%, like minimal close-up minimal close-up shots, and that's all the technical stuff, but that shit matters in the end. It delivers the experience that you're trying to portray. And the issue is that they're bringing in a lot of these people to do these shows that have minimal experience. I don't know why they're doing this, people that have minimal directing experience, writing experience. I don't know what Lucasfilm's thought process is with that, which is why Andor hits so hard, is because you have a whole team of people that have been doing this shit for years. You know what I'm saying? They're not figuring it out on the fly. So they need to tap into that a little bit more with experienced people to deliver a better product. And they need to do that for their movies too. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that.
I mean, I'm right there with you. Yeah.
I love that.
I got a half gym in the garage.
You work out in the mornings?
No.
If you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, you don't know what to do, go work out.
I mean, I should, but I've never been that guy.
But that's the thing. You don't become that guy until you do that thing.
I know. I'm making excuses now.
Yeah. Hey.
I
Suck it up.
I knew it was going to happen. We're going to run into something, and I'm like, oh.
Because this is the thing, right? Because it's not just about, like, you're in shape, you're good, but it's about, hey, yo, how can I make my body stronger? How can I feel healthier?
Absolutely, I agree.
And I have the ability to do it, right? Like I said, I never call what I have a disability. I say it's an ability, because what my ability is that I can adapt in this world, in my life, and just be the best that I can be at it, right? Even though I may have to do it differently, even though I may have to look different than what other people do, I think it's just very important that you understand that when you have a disability, you are not. I disagree that you're disabled. I agree that you have the ability to do something different and in a better way, and it works for you. And as long as you understand that, that's the best thing to do. That's the best way to go.
Was there a moment where you had that mental switch? Have you always felt that way?
Okay, yeah. So this is where this is the turn then. This is where we get to the.
Should we get another beer before we get into it?
Definitely.
All right, we're gonna be right back, everybody.
Right back, everybody.
Listen, you weren't supposed to make me laugh. We were going on a serious subject.
Yeah, serious talk. Okay, all that cut. All right, ready? Back to the topic. Serious time. Okay, yes. So my turning point. So, wow, now it's gonna be hard to kind of, get back in there. But so my turning point to when I knew that I wanted to help people, and I knew that I wanted to be like, I wasn't allowing my disability to be a part of me, was, so I came from very hardcore mental issues, right? I'd probably tried to take my life multiple times. And crazy story getting into this, right? But so every night, my brother would come to the stairs before bed, and he'd be at the bottom of the stairs, on the top of the stairs in my room, and he'd say, "Corey, I love you," right? And that was our thing. Like, he would say, "Corey, I love you," and I'd come open up the door and say, "I love you too," and we say goodnight, right? And he'd go to bed. Well, one day, I was going through a lot of stuff, and I had made the decision, like, this was obviously, a very hard time in my life, very dark time, and I made the decision I was going to take my life, and I had everything ready. I was ready to do what I needed to do. Got everything loaded up, and I go to places ready to get it done, and all of a sudden,
Don't worry about me.
all of a sudden, I just hear, "Corey, I love you. Corey, I love you." And I remove this from me. I was like, dude, what am I doing? What am I doing? And wow, yeah. I opened up my door, and my brother's not at the bottom of the stairs. He's not even there. I come downstairs. I said, "My brother yelled for me." They're like, "He's been in bed for an hour." And I was like, what? Are you serious? And at that moment, I was like, "God, okay, all right, you got my attention, you love me, you care for me. I'm not my disability. I'm not cerebral palsy. I am who you say I am. You knew me when I was knitted in my mother's womb. Like, because the thing about what I did is I ran from faith for a long time. I ran from the Lord because I grew up in it. So I feel like I never had the opportunity to believe what I wanted to believe.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mom, obviously, parents, tread light, some parents will tread lightly on this, but my mom allowed me to walk away from faith and do my own thing. And I came back on my own. And coming back on my own was the best decision I could ever make. And so, yeah. And so then that incident happened. And then that same year, there's this church camp that I go to. Shout out Ryan Beeson's Teen Week church camp. There's this gentleman that would come, and he was autistic, right? Severely autistic, and awesome guy, big guy, like 6'3",
Whoa.
200, probably 260, 270, big dude, right?
Damn.
And but he's very autistic, and loved him. And he didn't like touching people. He didn't like looking at people. Like he doesn't like all that. And I remember one time, so the same year, I'm asking for the Lord. I'm like, "God, if you hear me," because this is like after that incident happened. So I'm like, I'm already like, "Lord, like you hear me." But the devil just, at that moment when that happened and I changed myself, I started turning things around. The devil just came that much more harder. Like boom, 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 right? Came after me. And so I remember being at camp and just being like, Lord, please, do you hear me? Like, do you hear me? I want to feel you. Like, I want to know that you're here. And I remember we were singing the song. It's called How He Loves, right? And I just remember we were singing, "He loves us, oh, how he loves us." And this guy comes up to me, grabs me in his arms, holds me in his arms, and whispers in my ear, "I love you.
Oh, shit.
I've always been here. I love you." I put this on my children's lives. I put this on my children's lives.
That just gave me goosebumps.
Yeah. And he goes, I love you. I've always loved you. I'm here. And I just started weeping in this guy's arms. And he sang the song a little bit and said, he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. And then let me go and walks away. And I'm just like, I'm torn up at this point. I'm just like, man, like,
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you again. You know what I mean? And I go to him later and I was like, hey, what do you want, Corey? Leave me alone. That same guy, right?
What?
And I'm just like, that was you? God, that was you?
Wow.
And yeah. And so in that moment, it doesn't matter. I'm not cerebral palsy. I'm Corey. I am a follower of Christ. I'm the son of God. And I need to change my life. I did, and I said, I want to change other people's lives.
No kidding.
With the kids, have you figured or learned any tricks, not so much from maybe working with the teacher so much as about your time as a teacher, outside of just like tools and curriculum, like behavioral maneuvers? Because I know like a lot of times teachers will have to deal with actions or kids that are kind of tough to deal with, and likewise the parents are kind of difficult. I do have several friends that are teachers, and some of the horror stories I've heard, I was like, man, you definitely don't get paid enough for your job.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, again, when I was certainly as an assistant principal, that's primarily what I was dealing with is discipline 24/7. So you try to put in the structure and, because kids thrive off of structure and organization as much as we fight it, right? And the discipline on the proactive side, right? Some of the preventative things and building into those, what I consider like into that positive deposit into the emotional bank account, right? So then when you do have to lay the hammer, so to speak, because obviously corporal punishment is faded from my time, then probably early mid-90s when that started to dissipate. And I think we've erred too much to, everybody gets a trophy. I don't agree with that either. There's a happy medium. So again, setting the boundaries, setting the parameters and structure, right? But then honestly, Caleb, the biggest difference between a successful classroom management or, discipline management system, multi-tiered support system, right, is not only setting the framework, but holding the line, holding the standard, right? And you building these relationships along the way and communicate that, there, if A, then B, if B, then C, D, but adhering to those, because just like parenting, right? If you don't follow through, then the kid knows, Dad really didn't mean that. Or same thing, my teacher didn't really mean that. And
they don't connect with it. And they feel, I don't like that feeling of like feeling dumb or feeling stupid or feeling like, you're not always supposed to like get art, and art doesn't always have to mean something, something that you have to, you're not always going to, you understand.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. Like it's like open to interpretation and everything.
That's one of my things, yeah.
What do you mean?
When people put too much like explanation or words, like you don't need a paragraph to explain a piece that you painted. It may mean that much to you.
Sure.
But if I have to read a page worth of your thoughts going into this and why each brushstroke had some symbolism, you're lying. Shut up. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is interesting. I have, yeah.
That's just my own thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, when people, I walking carefully. There's, It is interesting. Everybody's different. We have applications sometimes where people will submit a piece that will say like, this is a painting of a cow. And then there will be a painting of a cow and it'll be like the spots, and it will be just like 4 pages about the cow spot. And it's interesting how each artist perceives or creates their work.
And I don't know, man. It like when I say you start questioning everything, it's a real burden because like literally everything you start questioning.
Yeah.
Like why? There's always some kind of money behind it. There's always some kind of weird intention behind it. Nothing's ever black or white. Nothing's ever cut or dry. It's like there's always some weird puppet master behind the scenes pulling the strings on this thing that you're told you're supposed to do. Like, I don't know. I grew up a welfare kid, but at a certain point, like in high school, it's like, well, you're a smart kid. You're in the top 10 of your high school. You're supposed to go to college. Now I look back, it's like, why was I supposed to go to fucking college? Why was that a rule? Like, higher education is such an absolute scam in this country. Like, if you want to make real money right now, go be a plumber or an electrician. Why the fuck are we going to get a bunch of like these liberal arts degrees that we're never ever going to use in our career? All we're doing is getting in debt because someone told us we're supposed to go to college. Some guidance counselor who didn't know her ass from a hole in the wall, which is why she's in fucking a public high school working. Like, and I'm supposed to just do what this lady says, like it, and that's supposed to put me on this course in life that says I have to live in this neighborhood and drive this car, and like none of it makes any sense to me anymore. Like none of it. So yeah, that's what I mean by question everything. It's like all these rules that we're told to obey and live by. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why am I supposed to do that?
I've seen people go after like the American dream of what they expect to like get married, have like pets, get kids, buy a house, have a nice car, and just absolutely hate their life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why?
That's what I'm talking about, man. And like, look, I'm very lucky in that I've got the hottest, sweetest, best wife ever and 3 awesome kids.
Or show off.
So, I've really lucked out. Also, I busted my ass because I was a welfare kid and I'm in a pretty good place today. But I look at a lot of people around me as these like sheep that are just there because they're told they're supposed to be there, and they're not questioning anything.
Yeah, that happens. You're like, hi, I did a good job. I did terrible. I'm so sorry. But it slowed me down a lot, and you realize you are the only one who can control your emotions. And then you hear a young child say things like, I can't help it when I'm emotional. Like, well, I happen to have just learned that you can. So you're wrong. I'm wrong. Let's all sit and learn.
Right? Yeah. Like, it took me a long time to get here. So
Yeah, you can help the way you feel.
Yeah.
You can.
It's not easy, though.
No, and you don't always want to.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to be real and be like, I want to suffer. This is my time to be miserable, and I want to be left alone. Maybe people will respect that. Maybe you shouldn't sit in it for too long.
I definitely had that conversation with myself at one point, because it gets so bad in your life when you are the main reason it's so bad in your life. And I had to like sit, when you start thinking like, why is everything going so wrong? And finally, if you're lucky, you get to the point where like, oh shit, is it me?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, it's me.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, so like. And one of the questions that really helped me realize that was like, if I did get everything that I'm like, say I'm working so hard to get, how will I change when I get that? And I was like, oh my God, I'd freak out. I'd probably ruin it. I'm like, oh, so we're holding on to something else. Why are we holding on to that? And if we're still holding on to that, then you're not prepared to get this.
Grow or get what you,
Yeah. And so it's like, whoa, now I've got to figure out how to let go of this. And it's so interesting to get to that point where you can look back and like, okay, so I've got way overwhelmed with everything that's going on. I got too stuck on a certain mindset that I've been dealing with, and I've kind of mucked up a lot of stuff.
Right.
I need to go sit on a rock.
You got to sit on a rock.
So he's like 3 months.
Yeah, a little over 3 months.
Some context would be nice for everyone watching and listening.
I would say definitely watching his personality grow, because they, newborns, they just kind of like cry or sleep. So they don't necessarily have a personality yet. I mean, he was smiling when we first brought him home anyway, but now he like giggles and like pays attention and he's super observant and he like sees our faces now and like understands what we're doing and knows that we're crazy people, but like laughs anyway.
Yeah,
And,
he's been on some adventures.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
That was about to
That's
say.
what I'm excited for is like more of that. But like, yeah, more intense, you know. A little more intense, but not too intense.
Yeah.
The
Tell
bike
him-
trailer, for
yeah,
instance.
I was gonna say, tell him what we just bought.
Just picked up this bike trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Attach it to your bike, pull behind little trailer. I had one growing up. It's like a core memory for me. Getting pulled around in it, not so much. Pulling Ryan and Rachel around in it, my younger siblings. And it was a blast. So, all kinds of fun. But
Yeah.
doing that should be like, what, 3 months away? No.
Yeah,
No, not
maybe.
3 months away. 6
Like-
months away.
Something.
Sticking them in there. Something.
We could probably do a little bit before then, but
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I kind of was. I was very surprised about. First off, I was surprised about the levels of growth. Like I expected the kids just to automatically be able to see everything.
Oh, right.
And so, like with y'all, I've learned that he couldn't like make out a lot of shapes in the beginning.
Yeah.
Can't see like.
He probably still can't see all. It probably is like blurry, like motion and like
I had no idea.
contrast, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you don't ever remember that as a kid. I just assumed.
blur. It's a
Yeah.
blur, literally.
It makes sense. I was thinking about it. But there's another aspect too, like with modern raising of kids, there's the aspect of like super like careful parenting. But then you think about like, oh, I was born in like the 80s and no one gave a crap. I'm like, just tossed us around like no problem. Like,
Smoking cigarettes.
yeah. Give my 7-year-old a cigarette. Over there.
Well, the difference in the two, from my experience of being in both. Now, Sicily I went to in like 2009, so a long time ago. Italy I just went to in 2020, 2021, just right after like they opened everything up for COVID. But
Oh yeah.
and we went to different parts. We drove all the way from Florence down to Sorrento. But in America, we have all of our conveniences and all the technology, and we're very spoiled. I'm just gonna say it, but it's, you know, I appreciate
100%.
the spoiled part of it, but we're spoiled. You know, we find things to appreciate here. Like we have to search for like authentic things to appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
They appreciate what they have. It's the difference, right? So them sitting in the front of their houses or sitting in their campagnas or just walking down the street to the cafe and like seeing the neighbors, like that minimalistic life that's their joy, right?
That's so
because
nice.
they see, but here's the difference. I told somebody else this last week, you know, the one thing we don't grasp, we took our kids to Pompeii. In Charleston, you're only ever going to experience something that's been maybe here since 1600s or
Oh, yeah.
1700s. Like you're never going to go much more past that because they were the colonists were the ones that came over and built things. You know, Indians didn't live with any buildings. But even then, man, I mean, like think about it. This, I want to say during the Revolution, I don't know much about Southern history, but buildings didn't get erected until a certain point, right? And so
And most of the time, a fire burned them all down.
whatever, yeah, something like that. But in Pompeii, I literally was resting my arm on a wall that was made of some kind of stone that somebody put there in, you know, whatever time it was established, the BC, you know?
Like some absurd time.
Yeah, I mean, there were still the chariot tracks and the cobblestone road from when the horse and buggies used to run up and down the middle of the town.
That's wild.
Now, granted, some of it got bulldozed by the lava and all right with the volcano, but like the parts that didn't get like devastated, you still can see. And I'm just like, I can't believe this road is here for over 1,000 or 2,000 years. And I-26 has all the issues it has in like 60 years of existence.
Get it together,
So,
Eddie.
I know, yeah. But it's just, it blows me away that you can connect with that timeline in real time. You know what I mean? And then
I understand what you mean. I've never been in a situation where I've seen such history right in front of my face.
yeah.
Charleston is literally the most historic area that I've been to.
And it's one of the oldest. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, which is great.
No, it is.
But at the same time, I really need to get over there and
Yeah, I mean, we went to Paris,
see
the same
that.
thing. You know, like you're going to Paris and you're seeing things that were put up like at the beginning of civilization, and you're just like, wow. I mean, you can imagine. Obviously, it's modernized, but there's some things you look at and you're like, this was here because a king at a certain point had it put in place for his commute. So like you're looking at things from monarchies like way back, and you're just thinking it blows you away that A, it's still sound and functioning, and then B, you just try to picture like what that was like back then, and it's not something you think about here, you know. But again, going back to the way they live, man, it's to them. We have to find things, I think, to appreciate, right? Like life gets busy for us. You said earlier in our conversation, you're a hiker, so you've got to go to the woods. You've got to go to the mountains. You got to drive 3 or 4 hours to a good mountain spot and find a trail and walk and just be in peace with yourself. Look at nature, stuff like that, right? But you got to make the effort to do it.
Yep.
Every day for them is kind of like that. Now,
I still do 72-hour fasts. I try to do one every single month.
This man's crazy.
But listen, it's so good. It's so good. And with having cerebral palsy, it literally just reduces all the inflammation in my body.
Well, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's really nice. And I feel like I could run.
Oh, the way you said that. Oh, my God. I can fly like the wind. Oh, that's what it is. Damn, I really messed that up. Damn.
I don't know what that was. That was a
Yo.
whole nother song.
Damn,
You're
my
like,
whiteness came out.
You're like, I can fly like the wind. I don't know what that was, but that was good. I believe I can fly.
So wrong.
I don't know, like,
But you knew what I was
I
going
can fly
for.
like the wind. I was like, let me
The content
let me
was- it
bring
was
this
fine.
back a little bit.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, save me for that.
I remember this is just me being funny, but like, dude, my son walks so fast, and there got to a moment when I was like, I'm kind of jealous, bro. Like, how can you 4 years old, you walk better than me, bro? You walk better than me. Like, oh wow, you don't have cerebral palsy. Sorry, you know what I'm saying?
Showing off?
Yeah, showing off in front of me. Like, Daddy, look at this. No, I don't want to.
You just got to do an arm wrestle with him, put him in his place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up? What's up? What's up, Monty?
Okay.
But so what I was saying, you have to. Your audience has to be a major part of that. If I was creating something because I wanted to feel comfortable and I didn't think, it wasn't resonating with my audience, then you have to change it. And it's the same with the magazine. If I grew up in Daytona Beach, if I was there and I started a magazine, there would be a completely different magazine than it is in Somerville. So you have to find that balance of what you're good at and what you feel comfortable with, and then what your potential clients are going to respond to. And if they're not responding, you have to decide, you're going to stick to what you want just because you thought you knew best, or are you going to, make some adjustments and keep it within your vision, but make those adjustments to what the people who are paying your bills want.
Yeah. I mean, it's an egotistical thought, I think, to assume you have everything right immediately.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of times you should go in expecting to have to change some stuff. It's supernatural, which in the beginning for me, designing was not easy to do. But once you realize that I can take criticism and help and fix things within my own vision, is a really handy tool and talent to get as you grow. So, plus, I mean, dude, your vibe at Azalea and at Godwin's is on point.
I appreciate it.
Oh, it's perfect.
It's fun. That's the most fun part.
Yeah, I love
For me, at least.
sitting up there all the time.